For a person who doesn't know anything about paleontology, of course, paleontology represents many things. Really, though, it's just about the study of ancient life. So animals that are extinct and not around anymore are the subject of a paleontologist's attention. But we work, of course, in many ways. And for me, I like field work very much. So maybe a third of my year is spent going into the field in Alberta or Mongolia or Patagonia to look for dinosaur bones. And when we find them, then of course we uncover them, have to collect them. It's a lot of hard work, hot weather, lots of mosquitoes, all those things. That's all part of it, like it or not. And but the neat thing is that then we take them back to the museum or the university where we work and prepare the fossils and then start studying them. And that's very exciting. It's a wonderful life in so many ways because it's so different at different times of year. But it's important for us to be able to do both things, I think. You have to be able to see where the fossils come from in the rocks and the field to really understand what you're looking at when you start to study them. So both things are important.
So you have worked with fossils all around the world, including our country. What can you tell us about your experience here in Argentina?
I've been lucky that I've been able to work almost all over the world. In fact, every continent except Africa. Well, I've been to Africa, but not collected dinosaurs in Africa yet. But the thing that I like best about Argentina is that it's so comfortable here for me. I mean, it's not that the field conditions are any different, because they're not. You're in a tent, you're working outside, it's hot, it's all these other things. But the wonderful thing is that the people are great. And to me, Alberta and Patagonia are very, very similar. I mean, the environment's very similar, but the people are also very similar. That one place is Spanish and the other one is English, but it's very comfortable to work here. The fossils themselves, of course, are fantastic. I mean, the nice thing about Patagonia, for me, is the fact that because dinosaurs really have not been worked on here for a long time, it means that almost every dinosaur you find is a new dinosaur. Whereas back in Alberta, for more than 100 years we've been collecting dinosaurs and studying them, so it's a lot harder to find new dinosaurs.
What do you think of this relation about birds and dinosaurs?
I'm one of the people who believes that birds are the direct descendants of dinosaurs, and in fact that birds are dinosaurs. And I started thinking about this back in the 1980s when we were collecting dinosaurs in Canada, because although our dinosaurs are too young to be the ancestors of birds, still when I looked at the carnivorous dinosaur skulls, I could see that there was very, very little difference between a bird skull and a dinosaur skull. And I was lucky enough that when we started finding feathered dinosaurs in China, I was also in China. So I got to, in fact, work on the first feathered dinosaur specimens. And of course, up to that point in time, people didn't really think dinosaurs could become birds. But once you find feathers on dinosaurs, and they're just like modern bird feathers, then the public became convinced that, well, maybe there is something in this, and that maybe birds and dinosaurs are related to each other.
And what is your opinion about the theory of catastrophe?
There are a lot of ideas out there about what killed off dinosaurs in the end, and there's two major types of theories. One is the theory of gradual extinction, and the other is a theory of catastrophic extinction. And in Alberta and Western Canada, we have actually a lot of evidence to show what's going on, because we have the end of the Cretaceous there. We can go right to the rocks and we can see where dinosaurs disappeared, absolutely. And that layer is only this thick. And the reason we can spot it is because not only are all the dinosaurs found below, none above, but there's differences in the plants, there's differences in the mammals, the turtles, and everything. There's a lot to show that right at that line, something happened. And at that line, what we find is a rare mineral called iridium. And iridium normally only comes from extraterrestrial objects like asteroids and meteorites. And so when we find the iridium, and we find shock quartz, and we find a change in the animals and a change in the plants, then we know something big has happened there. Now, in spite of the fact that I think that what killed the dinosaurs, therefore, is probably catastrophic. It probably was an asteroid hitting the Earth 65 million years ago. Nevertheless, there was something else going on below that. And in Alberta, for example, 10 million years before this event, 10 million years before, we have more than 40 species of dinosaurs. It's very, very diverse. 5 million years before the end, we have only 25 species of dinosaurs. 2 million years before the end, we have only 6 species of dinosaurs. And what that says to me is that for 10 million years, something has been going on that's changing the world of the dinosaurs. Personally, I think what's happening is that the climate is changing. And as the climate becomes more harsh, the diversity of dinosaurs is going down. It's not that the numbers of dinosaurs are decreasing, but the diversity is decreasing. And then I think when the asteroid hit 65 million years ago, it finished them. But in fact, there was something else.
What can you tell us about your experience here at the Science Museum in General Roca?
Well, so far I've only spent about an hour here in General Roca, so I don't have an awful lot of experience here. I think the building looks wonderful. I'm looking forward to looking in detail at the displays. I've seen some photographs of some specimens here, which to me are very, very exciting. And so I'm very much looking forward to seeing those fossils. But mostly what I know about the museum here is that it's new, it's exciting, and that there's people that are trying to make it really, really good, one of the best. And I think that's probably the most important thing. Is if you have people who are working hard to build something and make it the best, they're going to make it the best.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming.